Hello again. Here I am back with part 2 of my sampler parade. Today it's all about the charts. And I've got a stack here that I haven't got organized in my file cabinet. The ones that come from my file cabinet are a big bin right here. And then I've got a few that I'm going to start with on my digital. I have printed up just like the cover page for some of my digital samplers. So, I really appreciate all the comments I got on my last video and the new subscribers and all the views, and I just have really enjoyed reading all your comments. I put the links for those two groups in the description box for the free sales, and I hope everybody's found that okay. And so without further ado, I'm going to get started. So the first one I have, and this is a digital pattern that I ordered from Long Dog Samplers. It's a descending order. Here's the picture of it. I really love the colors in this one. I can't wait to get going on that. Here is Ye Old Band Sampler from Ivy House Crafter on Etsy. This thing is huge. I haven't started this one yet. And she has a companion chart for it called the Saxon Transylvania Band Sampler. This reminds me a little bit of the Linen and Threads one, the first year, the 2017. So, I want to do them, but so far I haven't got started. Here's one that I accidentally printed up the whole darn chart, so let me get this. This one is Stone Street Stitchworks, and this is the Franklin sampler. I noticed the other day they had a new Quaker, well, newish. I hadn't looked at their page in a while. Quaker, and they had it on sale, and it was like, I don't know how much, 15% off or something. And I was going to get it, and I didn't get it before the sale went off, so I hadn't got it yet. But anyway, this is the Franklin sampler. Here is another Stone Street Stitchworks. This is the Librarian's House. I like that. I like the little blackbirds or ravens or whatever they are. Probably ravens, you know, nevermore. So, this is Ship's Manor, the Wish sampler. I really like his designs, and I love his threads. I got this from his Etsy store also. All these came out from Etsy, I believe. This is Jane Duval, 1844 by Ship's Manor. This is a reproduction that he did, but I haven't started it yet. Looks like there's quite a bit of specialty stitches in that one. Here's Modern Folk Embroidered Quaker Samplers, A Secret Sky. That's really pretty. And that would look good done monochrome or with variegated floss or with a lot of different colors. This is Scandinavian Christmas sampler. This is also Modern Folk Embroidery. And this is the Jane Austen 1817 to 2017. This is the one. I was going to do this last year in 2017 in commemoration of her birthday, but I didn't do it. Letters from the North. Modern Folk again. I do love his patterns. I don't seem to get much done. Here's Quiltify Designs, which, you know, this could actually be a Dark October start. I just need to figure out what thread to use. This is All Souls Verlinden. So that would be a good Halloween one. Here is a newer one that he just came up with. It's Charlotte Ramsey, 1823. This is one he just did. And it's really cute. It's got a lot of, like the whole family down here, and it's got a lot of pink. That's pretty. Okay, now I have a few Al Forrest embroidery that I got, just the patterns that I downloaded from their website. I had to pay like 3,000 rubles. It ended up not being that much money, of course, you know, American dollars, but this one is the something in Russian. And this is like a what do you call those birds? Peacock sampler. That was really pretty. I got a lot of pretty blues too. And here's this Christmas one. I really like this one. The deer jumping over the little log cabin. All the little motifs. Yeah, that's right up my alley. Right up my alley. And here's another one. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is in Russian. I don't know how to speak Russian. But they are, these are just, like I said, the cover pages. I have the, so now I know what I have. I'll put these in a folder saying cover pages, and then I'll be able to find, know what I've got. This is a, looks like a autumn one. So that's all the ones I've got that are big samplers in my Etsy. I have a lot of smaller patterns that are not sampler, or there are some that are samplerish and some that are little samplers, but I decided not to get those out. Okay, this one is Praiseworthy Stitches. I hope I can leave these in the packages, because if not, this video is going to get really long. But this is Simple Gifts Christmas. I'm going to start this one for Christmas this year, I believe. And this one I am definitely starting. This is Carolina House, Happy Christmas. This one calls for needlepoint silk or AVAS, but I really want to do it in the colorful colors because that is gorgeous. I love that one. And I think I've shown this one not too long ago, the Scarlet House, the Smith sampler. It calls for a lot of threads, the Dinky Dyes, Gloriana, and I believe that I'm going to do this in DMC. I do believe so. Here's one that a lot of people have right now. It's Quaker Gone Haunted. I have this one and the other one, Quaker Gone Poe, and I believe I'm going to start the Quaker Gone Poe. I have the thread for that one. I don't have the thread for this one. This one takes some silken colors and some gassed wool. Here's Matter's Choice. I do want to start this one. This one might be a start for Dark October. I don't know why I'm showing you. I should be showing you this in my Dark October video. But I might start this one. I know I got fabric for it, and I'm sure I've got some thread I can use. Lots of thread. Here's Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. Now, I've got a lot of Blackbird Designs, but I'm not showing those. Maybe I have a couple of the bigger ones like this. But I have like all of the garden series. I have all of the Anniversaries of the Heart series. And, a bunch of the books. And so, here's Simple Gifts Kindness by Praiseworthy Stitches. I just love this kind of sampler. So, that's what I gravitate toward when I buy them. When I see something like this, I just about have to buy it. Here's Hands On Design, The Proverbial Home. I thought that was really cute. Now here's one I bought from Etsy, and it's by Maggie G Needleworks, and it's called The Graces. It's beautiful, but I didn't realize when I bought it had a lot of Krynic and stuff like that in it, and it's just, I don't know about that. I could use Petite Treasure Braid, but that is really gorgeous. So, this is Leah Lee Gronow, 1872, Mary Wynn Farms. And I believe this calls for, well, I guess it's just regular, no, it is the wool gassed, which I like it. I have another one that I started, which you saw in my other part of my sampler parade the other day. And it stitches up really good. It's kind of weird because it's fuzzy. It makes you think, that something's wrong with it, but that's just the way it's made, so, because it's wool. Here's Elizabeth's Needlework Designs Antique Christmas Sampler. I have a lot of Christmas stuff to start. Now here's an oldie but a goldie. I'm not really sure if I'll ever do anything off of this or not, but it's by the Needle and Eye, and it's winter seasonal samplings. Like I said, I don't know if I'll ever do any of that. I kind of like the one with the deer. Well, they're all kind of cute, but I have so many. So many to do. This is Forever and Ever by Brenda Gervais. I love hers. I have never stitched any yet, but I do love her designs. I have all of the wordplay, and I've got me some fabric for it. I'm going to do it on 32 count vintage country mocha. That is, I tell you what, that's one of my favorite fabrics. Now here's one that I bought not too long ago because of Kindred Stitcher. She showed this on her video. Some kind of I don't know if it was a sampler parade or what, but I had to go hunt it down and get it. This is the Stone House on the Brandywine. It is really beautiful. There's a lot of crazy stitches in this house, though, I think. And here's another one, Mexican Garden by Queenstown Sampler Design. It's got several different specialty stitches, and I'm not really... I don't mind doing a Smyrna cross or something like that, or a eyelet, but some of these, like the rice and the Montenegrin, or... I've never even done a queen stitch. It doesn't look hard, but I'm sure I'll eventually try one. Now, I got this in one of those Jack's Stash boxes. It's called, it's the Mary Poppins Band Sampler from Sassafras Samplers from Sassy Jack's. It's really cute. It came with the banding to stitch it with and the pattern. So that's really cute. And here is, I keep saying it, here is the Alice Sarah Dennis 1834. It's a Norfolk sampler by Mill on the Floss. And I love this because it's colorful. It's got deer, red deer at that. And I don't even know what kind of animals those are down there. It kind of looks like a dog, but it kind of doesn't. Like right here, see? That kind of looks like a dog, but it's got a weird looking snout. Got a red house. It's got some really weird, oh look at those butterflies. No, I don't think they're even butterflies. There's some kind of insect. It says, it is education forms the tender mind, just as the twig is bent, the tree is inclined. For what we learn in youth, to that alone, in age we are by second nature prone. That's a very true statement there. Here's another Antique Spring Sampler, Anne Hobbs, 1834 by Shakespeare's Peddler. Now the picture in this one's not good, but I bet that is really a beautiful sampler stitched up. Sheepish Designs. This is an old one. It's another one that's handwritten. It's Remember Me. When this you see, remember me. This used to be one of my favorite designers. I've only got like one that I've stitched of theirs, but I like it. I love them. This is the Scarlet House, the Black Dog sampler. I know I've shown this not long ago. That's awesome. Mary Clay, 1805, the Chinese Quail Sampler by Mary Wind Farm. And this one takes, looks like regular Gentle Arts on this one. I like that big old bird, big old quail. Here is Through All Things Be Exceedingly Diligent. And this is Needlework Press. And so, well, I guess you don't need to see that. That's really... I started to start this in Stitch Mania last year, but I didn't do it. Now this was a freebie I got when I ordered some things from Jen's Stitching Niche, and it's the Vera Tuber Sampler by Raise the Roof Designs. It's kind of cute. Awake My Soul by Lottie Da. That is one of the newer ones. I really love Lottie Da's samplers or patterns. Here's Sweet Sophia by Lottie Da also. This is also a new one. Sarah Elizabeth Oliver, 1842 by Plum Street Samplers. I can't read what's in the middle there, but... Okay. Now here is Sampler Cove. I have some Sampler Cove and, well... I don't know where the rest of them are, but here is Grace Quaker Sampler. And I've had this since 2005 when it came out. And I've noticed, I think Jan Hicks is stitching this. I don't know who all stitching it, but that's a good. I would really like to do that one too. Here is Blue Ribbon Designs. This is a little Quakeresque. Isn't that cute? This is one I bought not too long ago. Here is Cherry Stitches Inspiration Hill. And this is actually Greensboro, North Carolina sampler. So, it's quite cute. I think it's got specialty stitches too. I kind of gravitate away from those. Now, some of them, like I said, I don't mind Smyrna crosses, eyelets, maybe some satin stitch. But most of them I don't really want to tackle. This is Middle Mist Red Sampler by Sassafras Samplers. I need an untongue twister. Or maybe I just need to learn how to speak. This is Inheritance by Summerhouse Stitchworks. It's another one of my favorite designers. Never stitched anything by them, but I love what I see. I like that. I got this when I went to Sassy Jack's this last spring. Oh. Lucy Schnell, 1847. Samplers Revisited. I bought this at Sassy Jack's also when I was there. And I think it takes, let's see. It's used, it takes Gentle Arts. But they do have a DMC conversion, so, you know, I can always do that. Because I think things that are done in DMC is really pretty, too. Sally Spencer Sampler. This was has been a sale, and I got the pattern when everyone else was all doing it, and then I haven't started it. Here's Quaker Evening Prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep, guard, and the way it's written out there. Guard and keep me through the night and wake me with the morning light. I should have known that because that's just, you know, what we did when we was little. We said that prayer. Well, yeah, kind of a prayer. And okay, here is Ragamuffin 2 or 1 and Harrison. Shakespeare's Peddler. Looks like this will be DMC. It's charted in needlepoint silk, and it's got like all that whole row. But it's got a DMC for conversion, so go for that. Here is Quaker Samplings 3 by With My Needle. I think I have Quaker Samplings 2. I don't have Quaker Samplings 1. Here's another Praiseworthy Stitches, Autumn Quaker. Virtue Sampler by Sandra Sullivan. I think I ordered this off of Etsy. Isn't that pretty? And then you can do it like they did it, broke it up and did it too there, and then the main one. Here is one, like I said, I want to start this one pretty soon. Twisted Band Sampler. The other one I've got is the Twisted Rainbow Sampler, which is on black. I showed that to you the other day with my kitted up ones, because I want to start that one. Okay. Sampler Hill, Brenda Gervais. And Scattered Seed Samplers, Catherine Dickinson, 1840. This one is Weeks Dowel Work, Gast, and DMC conversion. So that's all that I had that I have not got organized into my file cabinet yet. So those can go down there. So I'm going to try to keep these in the order that I took them out of it, because they're all in separate files according to designer. So I'm going to try to put these back the same way, you know, in the same order that I took them out of the file cabinet so I can find them. This is The Good Housewife, and it's Eliza Perry, 1838. This is another Good Housewife, 1898, Quaker Sampler. That is Quaker. Here's Ellen Birdseye, another Good Housewife. You know, a lot of people like that grungy look fabric, and I'm not really sure I really like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to decide. Here's the Trilogy Square. I didn't really mean to get this one out because that's not the type of sampler I'm getting out, but what can I say? All right, here's Forget Me Not Sampler by Sheepish Designs. I don't believe they are in business anymore. Sheepish Antiques. This is Betsy Wood, 1808. I like that one a lot. Here is Shepherd's Bush. This is one of the few Shepherd's Bush I have. I got this back years ago. Evening Prayer. I don't know what it's doing in that part because Shepherd's Bush is not Sheepish Designs. Maybe I just saw the S and just put it together. Birdie Birdie by Sheepish Designs. I like that one too. Look at that big old swan, whatever it is. I think it's a swan. And it don't look like it has, well, it has some kind of specialty stitch. Oh, I think it's just satin stitch. Yeah, that's what that is. It was showing the stitch on the outside, the crosses, and then it's showing the middle going up and down. So for a second, I thought it was some weird stitch I hadn't seen before. Selena Dunwoody, 1810. Now this one's really cool. It's pretty colorful. I totally forgot about a lot of these. I've had these for 20-some years probably. Mary Norwood, 1736. I do want to do this one pretty soon. I guess because of the different colored alphabets. I'm drawn to those. The ones that are like, you know, different colors for the different letters. It's really strange. Okay, here is some more Sheepish Designs, not Sheepish Designs, but Shakespeare's Peddler. These are the newer ones. This is A Savior's Praise, which everybody's seen that. Most people have seen that, I think. I do have all the anchor for this, except for maybe 2 or 3 skeins that 1, 2, 3 Stitch didn't have. Jane Pattinson, 1806. If it's got pink, red, or blue, then I want it. And here is Bright Spot Sampler by Samplers and Such. This is another one I've had for years and years. And here's another Bright Spot Sampler, and by Samplers and Such, but it's a different one. I guess they did more than one kind, or one. Okay, now we're to Sampler Cove. I have several Sampler Coves. This is Double Dutch. I like that, but I think it's got quite a few specialty stitches. Some of theirs do and some of theirs doesn't. Here's Amtrak. I do want to start this one pretty quick. I just got to decide on what fabric because it calls for Gloriana, and it calls for 5 Glorianas and 4 needlepoint ink. That is very expensive to kit up. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it with what I got. Enya, the Flourish series. Flourish. Yeah, that's kind of an odd combination, that gold and red, but it looks good. Our Anniversary. That was really pretty. Busy, busy. Here's the Flourish, another Flourish Dido, series Dido. Is Caroline doing this one off of Homestead? The one that does, is it? I can't think what her name is, but she's the one that has the little cabin up in Canada that they go to in the summertime on an island. What is the name of her darn page? Homesteading on the Home Front? No, that's not her, I don't think. Acorns Away. Another sampler code. Back in the Day. This is pretty cool. These are all going to start falling off because they're going to slide off. Back in the Day. I get on a kick of a designer and then I want to get a bunch of them. Now this is one that would be a really good start for Halloween. And it's a thriller sampler. Moonlight casts an eerie glow and shadows terror hides. And searching for the haunted souls on wicked wings she rides. Yep. That's a good one to start for Halloween. Got lots of Halloweens though. Strawberry Sampler. This is a multi-stitch band sampler. Man, this one's thick because it shows you how to make all the different specialty stitches. Don't know what possesses me to buy these. Rhapsody in Red ribbon sampler. That's cool. I think that's all my sampler code now. Let's go on to the next section here. This one is my Scarlet Letter. M. QWERTY, $17.99. It's another. These aren't too bad because some of these I've already opened at the top. Some of them I haven't though. This is Mary Baker sampler. I like that because, like I said, the different colored alphabets. It's got a picture that's, you know. I hope you're seeing these okay. And I'm not going too fast or whatever. Here's Sarah Tatum, 1800. This is an Ackwork School sampler, which I love Ackwork School samplers. I don't think it's doing any good just to take it out because it's a shiny picture anyway. So here's Dutch sampler by ID in 1819 and 1820. I have two Scarlet Letters in the works right now. So Mary Ann Hutton's sampler. That tree's funny because it's really light at the top. It looks like it's just half the tree, but it's a lighter color there. John Murray sampler. Matilda Ann Charles, 1819. The green linen sampler. I kind of like that because it's on that green linen, but whether I'll do it on green linen, I don't know. It don't look like it's that big. So that's pretty good. Continental sampler. It's got a lot of flowers and stuff. I don't normally buy the flowery ones or ones with, you know, like houses and stuff like that. Well, they not. I do like houses, but like houses like that and dogs and all these flowers, I usually don't buy that kind. But it did attract me for some reason. Abigail Gould's sampler, 1796. This is kind of cute. Elizabeth Racer, 1834. I like these little motifs and the way it's set up. It's really, really nice. Now here's another. Here's like I think this is a Bristol sampler. Yeah. Yep. It's Jane Ree's 1869. A Bristol household finish sampler. So that makes 4. 1, 2, 3. This is 4 Bristol samplers I have. And you know, Hands Across the Sea is working on one now. Oh, wait a minute. Here's another one. Didn't even see it. M.A. Tipper, 1868. Another Bristol sampler. So that's 5. And Hands Across the Sea is working on another one. And I'm going to try to resist it. Because there is a new one out by her I like. It's not the one with the little 2 little girls. It's the other one. Then I put in my cart the other day at 1, 2, 3 stitch. That and all the thread. I was getting ready to click. And I backed out. I just put it on my wish list. Said, nope, I can get this later. Let me at least stitch 1, or at least get 1 start. Well, I do have actually 2 started. Both of them are Bristol samplers. I do want to start some of her other ones though. Okay, here is, of course, and a 4-screw. I bought this when all the people were doing stitch-alongs. And I don't know if I'll ever stitch that, but I do love Rosewood Manor patterns. Now, back in the day, this is back, I'm not sure when I did, when this was before Facebook. There was no Facebook, there was only Yahoo e-groups. And I don't know, I think I saw this in somebody's, put it on in one of their albums on the group. And I absolutely fell in love with this. And you couldn't buy it at the time. So I was able to contact Karen Kluba. And now that I've got it, and I saw the pattern and what is all involved in it, I do not think that I will ever stitch this. It's It's the American flag quilt sampler, but it is gorgeous. I love that. Now, I may change my mind and decide to start it someday. I just don't see it, though. Here is Mini Sampler Trio. I do like all these. These are really pretty. She is one talented designer, which, you know, most designers, almost everyone that I've got their patterns for, I really respect and think they're really talented. This one is As Ye Sow. Here's a newer one. Well, this is Quaker Village by Karen Kluber. I thought this was a different one, but I haven't had this too long, but I know I've had it probably a year anyway. Oh, here's one of my newer ones. Dreaming of Sunflowers. That yellow and orange. Yeah, I just love that. Here I did say red, blue, and pink. And now I've got to add yellow and orange to it. Here is some that I have that I really like, but then again, I've had these for years. This is Permanent Copenhagen Sampler 1854. This is a huge sampler. Here is Sampler 1663. Netherlands Museum, Netherlands, up in Lucci, whatever. Man, I wish I could just like stitch this really, really fast. Now here's another one that's, if I'm going to start any of these, this will probably be the one I'm going to do. Like I haven't got any more of these to start, which I've already got one or two of them started. This is a Sampler 1826. This is a Verland sampler, Verland, however you pronounce that. I need to go online and put it in the thing and say, how do you pronounce this? And then it'll bring it up and tell me how to pronounce it. Instead of acting like an idiot every time I have to pronounce it. This one is Antique Sampler. It's got Adam and Eve. I've never really stitched Adam and Eve that much. Well, no, I don't think I've ever stitched one with Adam and Eve. Or if I have, I haven't finished it yet. I don't think I have any, though, started. I've never really, you know, been that, like, oh, I've got to have Adam and Eve samplers. I've never really thought that much about it. Here's Quaker Peace. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, nor let it be afraid. Quaker, Quaker, Quaker. And here is America the Beautiful. And I saw one the other day. Someone talked about it, and it's the... It is Well With My Soul. I really want that one, but I'm not saying that I'm not going to buy stuff, because if I say I'm not going to buy stuff, I'm going to end up buying stuff. But I'm trying my best not to buy anything right now until I get a few more things, you know, finished up. Here's the namesake sampler, and this is the B. Which I'm not really crazy about the way that looks on there, but I think it's going to look a lot different stitched up. This is just not a regular picture of it. And here is Masquerade. And I really don't know how old some of these are. 2007 for this one. So I've had some of these a while. And here is The Lord's Prayer. This is a 2005 sampler. I would really love to do that and hang that on my wall, but I don't know. I've got a lot to do. And here is War Blackburn, and it's called Country Cottage Sampler. When I started the Time and Season Sampler, that time that I messed up my fabric, I really enjoyed stitching it. You know what I did? I did it with DMC. I even did it on Ada. I think if I do it again, I'll probably do it on 32 count. This is Pains of Love by Moore Blackburn too. I'm sure these pictures just don't do it justice. But now here is some that are, these are miscellaneous designers, because I didn't, you know, I didn't have but maybe one of each one. So I just put them in, just left them in the folder. Here is the Shiraz sampler by Dinky Dies. I think this calls for, I don't know how many Dinky Dies, but it calls for 7 skeins of Dinky Dies. I don't know about that. Here's the Needle's Content, and it's the Spanish flower sampler. And Elegant Stitch. I think I bought this on eBay, because I've never been to a store called the Elegant Stitch. Earth Threads. And this is by Betsy C. Stinner. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the back of the... what was it said on the back? Now, here's another one from Reflets de Soie. And this is called Passion. And I really, really love this one. I may have to make a folder for this, for them. I got like 3 of theirs. The other 2 are actually whips, but... Here is Primitive Counted Thread Pattern. It's Primitive Betty's Live, Laugh, Love Sampler. But you know, there's a little something about that. Live, Laugh, Love. You know, the whole, it got really big a few years ago, and everybody's like painting it on the walls and doing everything with Live, Laugh, Love on it. But for some reason, that kind of grates on me. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I may put something else down there. But I do like that. And here is Mama's Quilt by M Designs. I bought this, oh my gosh, it's been years. And I actually have the hand-dyed fibers, the Vicki Clayton. I've got the conversion in silks for this from her. Back there with my threads. A Spot of Tea by Samplers and Such. Noble, right, and pure. It says, whatever is lovely, let's see, whatever is noble, right, and pure, lovely, think on these things. And this is Abby Rose Designs. I have an Abby, maybe it's Abby Lane. It's hard to see that. Here's another one of the At the Hop ones from like the UB Checked I have, or Checkered Sheep, whichever it is. And here's another one of their designs. This one came out in, this is probably 1997. It's called Truly Blessed. And it calls for anchor. Here's Holly Designs. It's the Gentlest Voice sampler. Now I have a whole lot of Little House Needleworks, and Country Cottage Needleworks, and Lizzie K, you know, little samplers like that, and I, you know, chose not to get those out. Plum Street samplers. Some of these I'm not gonna. Oh, here's Red Regal Sampler, or Regal Red Sampler by Eileen J. Bennett, The Sampler House. And here is another bee sampler, but this is from GGR. I got this one from her years ago when she first came out with it. And here is Cosima by Monasterium Designs. I love this. It even came out in the book. It's actually numbered. I think it's a, what you call it? I thought it was. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it's the other one, Grace Quaker sampler that's numbered. But here's this one. So that's all those in my little folder. It's getting down there, but I still got a few. I mean, quite a few. This is Lucy Beam, Love and Stitches. Maria Casson, or Casson, 1822. This is a fairly new pattern. Here's another one, Elizabeth Nichols, 1826. I hope it's not too much glare. I would never get done showing these if I had to take them all out of the package though. Here's The Wish by Long Dog Samplers. I love their samplers. I have a couple, 2 or 3 that I've started. I haven't finished one. There's a lot of things I haven't finished though. All things. I feel kind of bad because I have all these designs and I haven't finished hardly any. Not that any big ones. I do have one that, like I said, is at the framer. I cannot wait to get that, and it's supposed to be back the 1st. Excuse me. I mean, it's supposed to be ready the 1st, but she's going to call me. It's at Hobby Lobby, so I hope they did a good job because I really want to use them for my framing because they're close to me. All things too. Now this is going to be, I mean, it's practically full coverage, both of those. What was I thinking? Here is Paradigm Lost. One of the first ones I bought of theirs, I believe. I've always been attracted to these kind of samplers. The motif samplers and Quaker samplers and the Berlin samplers. The token. I'll just give me a big, huge piece of fabric and just stitch them all together. Here's Spanglio, well, you may know. Let's see, has this got a date on it? I think this is a fairly new one. Because this came from 1, 2, 3 stitch. Oh, 2018, so I got that then. I've seen someone stitching that not long ago. Said that it takes a lot of black. Okay, here's my Jan Hauptmann samplers. This is rainbow borders. That is gorgeous, of course. I really love his samplers. Oh, here's another small long dog. I don't know how that got in the middle there. This thing's supposed to be there. Here is Spirit of Berlin. And here's Saraband. I also have the one that's called the collection. I think there's 8 samplers in it, but I only have that in a PDF file. I haven't printed it up. I got them in the PDF and I got it saved on my Dropbox, so I can put it on my pad if I want to. My iPad. Death by Cross Stitch. Everybody has this one. When I got this, I had every intention of starting it right away. And I've had it for at least 2 years. Bristol Fashion. Got a lot of long dog samplers. Here is Renaissance. Now that might be kind of cool on that piece of red that I recently got, that 40 count Vertil. If it's, I think it'd be big enough. Give me some really pretty, like, crude type thread. Here is Boys de Loc. Boys, something like that. And here's Rose Markey. I remember when I was on the Sampling Life group on Facebook. Well, no, it wasn't Facebook then. It was just e-groups. And it was started by Mark Davis. Oh, man, I really miss Mark. He passed away, I think, in 2008. He did this one, and then, of course, when he did it, I had to do it, too. Or I had to buy it. Didn't do it yet. And that's been 2008. Flemish Giant. This is a recent purchase. I think I bought this in the past year. Flight of Fancy. I've had this for years. I just love all those colors. Oh me, oh me, oh me. And here is For Some Real. I love these. I really love these. Okay, I believe that's all of my long dogs now. Now here's some, looks like Leisure Arts or maybe Stony Creek. This is Beloved Bible Story Samplers, and there's like 8 or 9 samplers in here. You see there. And I want to do these all on one piece of fabric. I think they're really cute. They got the 10 Commands, the Lord is my shepherd, and here's a few more. The pictures of them. I mean, aren't they cute? Look at that. The great fish. Coat of many colors. Of course, I know a lot of people aren't religious, but, you know, everyone has their own thing. And this is 12 designs inspired by like scripture. It's not really even samplers. I don't really consider these like samplers, but I don't know why that's in there. Oh, and here is Sunny Samplers, and I love these. And this is Leisure Arts. Yeah, I love these kind of samplers like this with the. And here's, look at that one with the rainbow. Oh, the birdhouses. Oh my gosh, and the sunflowers. Oh, I need to start those. Oh my gosh, here is old samplers. This is an old Leisure Arts. I've had this, oh gosh, probably 10 years. I don't know, I bought this from a place called Fox's. That's the one where they have boxes of old samplers or old patterns. And you can get them anywhere from 25 cents all the way up to, you know, a few bucks. Now, I don't know. I haven't been in there in several years whether they still have them or not. But I'd go in there every so often and just grab me, just go through the boxes and go through them and just find treasures. Old samplers too. Well, here is a Kathy Barrick, My Day Complete. And here's this one. This is All Heaven and Heaven and Nature Sing. Not really a sampler. I don't know why I've got it in with my samplers, but whoops. Here's one. Good Intentions. A lot of people have stitched this and are stitching it. That is, isn't that all of our stories? We're just full of good intentions, but sometimes they don't work out that way. Life and Pleasure. That's really pretty. But it's one of those fold out 4-page handwritten charts that I just do not know what I'm going to do. Well, where's the... Oh, there they are. They did the words large, and because they're over 1. So they was doing that over 1 stuff back in the 90s and in the 2000s too. I wonder if there's a... I don't see a date on here, but it's pretty old. The price is $4, so it's pretty old. A Liza Guy sampler, just cross stitch. This has a eyelet stitch, a 4-sided stitch. Neither one of them are too hard. That's a 16 eyelet stitch. I usually do the other one, but I can do that one too. This is Jardin Privé. This is Patchwork Temps, and Village Quaker. I really want to start that one. And then my other many more I want to start. And this is another Jardin Privé. I saw this on Facebook. Someone had, on one of the Flosstubes, I think. And they said, oh, I did this one, and it's ABC. And I love that. It looks like it'd go pretty fast. Okay, here's another, I think I'm getting into the rest of my Jan Houtman now. This is Carnation Sampler. I do love his samplers. Time to put this one in this bin here. Now a lot of these are printed up, and I bought these from some of these from a lady on the Sampler Life Facebook group back in the 90s. When he was still alive, she would get them and print them up, and then you know they'd send them. She'd send them to you. This is Address Puzzle. This is the 9/11 Twin Towers. And he's got a big verse in the middle here, and it's all in Dutch. I wish he had offered that in English, but he didn't do it. And so, I don't know. That's why I've never really even attempted to start that. But, yeah, there's the towers. Garden Sampler. He did a lot of flowers and stuff like that. A if you know who he is and you've ever seen Ina Van Leer, I think it's her name. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it because she's either Dutch or German. From the Sampler Life, she has pictures of his home back when she went to visit him and his partner before he passed away, and his walls were just covered wall to wall with samplers. Every one of his samplers he stitched himself, I do believe. But anyway, they were all stitched on Aida. So Aida is just as good to me. It just depends on your preference. But I mean, things can look just as beautiful on Aida as they do on linen or even weave. And some people are, you know, purist or whatever, but I think just do what feels good and comfortable for you. Byzantine something. But I like it all. I like all the fabrics. And this one is ABC. And of course this is in black and white. You know, I'm sure that it's not in black and white, you know. And here is the tulip sampler. And this is the violet sampler, I believe. Yeah, violet. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous samplers. And here is, oh, Buds of Life. Buds of Life. I like that, but I'm not sure about all the alphabets, and especially not that on the bottom, because I think that's his name or something. And this is sampler, Elizabeth sampler. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's not. It's kind of printed up light. Closed Tree of Life sampler. And like I said, this is, it looks like it's in purples and it's handwritten. It looks like hand drawn maybe, and well, maybe not, but it's kind of small. I may have to put this on my iPad if I want to stitch that. And here is, I don't know where this goes because it's just one sheet. I know the pattern somewhere. He designed this in 1995. That's the front page of it. And this is I'm not sure. This is some kind of bands. I can't read the, you know. Ode to Mother. It's kind of an odd, all those little blocks and stuff. And the last one of his I have, I think, is let's see if the next page has the title to it. You can still buy a lot of his samplers, like from I think European Cross Stitch. I'm not sure the name of this thing, but here it is. And there's different places you can buy his patterns if you're interested. Some people don't really care for his, but you know, it's, if we all like the same thing, then there'll be a lot of people out of business. Here's Ink Circles, Flower Power. Couple more ink circles here. I don't have as many ink circles as I do long dog samplers, but I do have a few. Here is Dragons of Sumatra. And here is Quaker Geometric Puzzle. If it says Quaker, I'm buying it. Obviously. What can I say? I bought this one and I don't know. It's a Blackstone Fantasy Garden. I don't know about this. Looks a little complicated once I got it. Yeah, got it. It might not be once if I get into it and start stitching it, it might not be too bad. Here is Monkey Wrench. This is another Quaker Quilts. I swear I'm going to have a whole house just with Quakers garden stars. And ink circles, Cirque du Cirques. Circles. This is the first one I ever bought. So, that's the last of my ink circles, I do believe. Here is Land of the Free sampler, and it's a homespun elegance. It's a long one. Here's another one of those I bought in the bargain bin. The sun shines with love on a happy home. Another homespun elegance. It's colorful. I like that. It's got little sheep and deer, and not deer, but I mean rabbits and dogs. Maybe it looks like it's a cat too. Purely Samplers in a Garden by Homespun Elegance again. I'm getting down there. I still got a few, but God's Gift Sampler. Stuff like this, it makes me just want to go and start them. I don't know what it is about certain samplers like this. Oh, and I love this one too, the Stitcher. It has satin stitches, the only extra stitch it's got, and I think that's, well, I'm not sure where, but I'm sure I can find it. It's got buttons on here too, just buttons down there. Isn't that pretty? Here is Heartstring Samplery instead of sheep. Like I said, I don't have too many of these kind here, like the Heartstring or the, Plum Street. They're similar to me. Baby, it's cold outside. And here I have, this one's kitted up. I mean, well, it's got all the thread. It's Stitcher's Resolution. Stitcher's Resolution. And here is Forever Young. I really enjoyed Parenthood, and that song was the theme. I really hated that show it off. Okay, let's get to my Hands Across the Sea. Mary Brown, 1765. This is Hannah Coates, 1848. Oh man, look at them birds. The red house and all that little animals down there. And Amy Can, 1831. I love this one because that pink and green. Oh my gosh. Now I hope the thread is just as nice. I mean, it is the right color when you get it, because sometimes they don't show up. They're not quite the color that you think it is. Harriet Hartland, 1782. That is a thick one. I bet it's a big one. I bet it's a big one. And this one is a small one, Mary Clayton. I've seen several finished of this one. Well, it's not too big. This is Bygone Stitches for the Birds. And Quaker Virtues. Now this calls for 38 skeins of old blue jeans. And I think back in the day, when I think I kitted this up. But I think I may have it in the Quaker Christmas pattern. I don't know. I might have put it in the wrong one. No. Yeah, I might have checked what's in that Quaker Christmas. It's really hard to see that, but that's what it looks right there. I do want to do that, that's for sure. And here is some blue ribbon designs. This is Stitches, Stars, and Stripes. I really like blue ribbon designs. Another one that I really like a lot of, I have a bunch of their patterns, I haven't stitched a darn one of them. This is a sampler, a cottage sampler. And this is a bookmark sampler. I like that. I really like that one too. You could take it apart and make different bookmarks out of it. Put it all together and make a big sampler, or just, you know, you can do a whole lot with that. Oh, I dread putting this back because I know for sure that I've messed this stuff up. Here is Halloween Quaker by RHEM. I want to start this, but it calls for Custom Color Works, and I don't really know. It doesn't have a DMC conversion, but I'm sure I could convert it myself. It don't look like there's many colors, but I don't know. We'll see. And Barbara Anna, the Snooty Parrot sampler. I don't have many Barbara Anna, and I really like hers. And here is the Funky Bird. This is Kitten Stitcher's fault. Oh, here's another Blue Ribbon Designs. A couple more Blue Ribbon Designs. This is True Love and Grace. And where's those at? There we go. And this is a sampler for Mary Pat. This is the last of them, right here. Right here, that's the last of them. So, here is a designer that no longer designs, or they may, I don't know, I don't think they design anymore. Anagram Diffusion. This was back in my Sampler Life days when Mark Davis was doing all these, and every time he'd finish one, and he did a lot. I mean, he got his finished like that. Sample around, and they were beautiful. If I was just looking at those, I might not buy them, but looking at his patterns, oh my gosh. Or his finished pieces. This is Sampler B. I don't have this one don't have a date on here that I see. But I know it's back in the early 90s or 2000s or whatever. I think, yeah, probably. This is Sampler Roo. This kind of reminds me of that Saxon band sampler that from Ivy House Crafter. A lot of those, these like things like this, and these things are actually old designs that are in the public domain, and a lot of designers use those. Here is Sampler 2005. Now this would have made a great mystery stitch along. Break them up in little blocks. There's just so much in here. I mean, so many things to look at in the sampler. And they did all theirs just about red. And here's Four Seasons. Now, the way Mark did it, he did each side, like the spring, he did with green, and then the winter was the blue, and then, you know, he just switched them up. Because each corner is a different season. Man, he got that done in no time. Flat. Man, it just... Whew. Abby Lane Designs. This is A New Beginning. This is Sonata, or... Yes. Sonatina, something like that too. And here is Mirror Mirror. I thought that was really cute. It says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, what the blank happened." Oh, that's really cute. And here is Santina 1. Santina, I cannot remember how to pronounce that for some reason. I think I'm losing my mind. And here's Cantata. These are all Abby Lane. It's got a little teapot. It's got a little castle, butterfly. I mean, it's got all kinds of cool stuff. Here is Sonata. It's all one color too. And In a Quaker Fashion by Abby Lane Designs. I started from the back and worked my way to the front. Now the only... Oh. That's pretty. I wonder what it calls for, thread. Oh, MPI silks. Yeah, that's probably not happening. Well, that's it. That's all my patterns. You know, I may find some that I forgot that I didn't have in my box. Eventually, you know, I may find some, but for the most part, that's all of my samplers. And that's a lot. And I don't have as many reproduction, you know, samplers as I would think I would. But, you know, I've never... I'm more into like the Quaker and the motif samplers than the reproductions. I do like reproductions, and I do have quite a few, but not as many as I do Quakers. So, but anyway, I'm so glad that if you stayed with me this long and you weren't not bored to tears with all this stuff, and here's this and here's this and here's this. My next update's going to be showing you my whips, and I'm going to do a dark October stitching video, and I'm going to try to do the 24-hour cross stitch this next weekend. And so I'm going to decide and pick out what I'm going to try to stitch during that 24-hour period. See, usually Friday is my, I usually clean the whole house from front to back on Friday. My husband's off on the weekends, which kind of makes it a little difficult for me to do all that stitching. But what I'm going to do Friday is I'm going to do my house cleaning Thursday night. Next week. This is my plan unless something happens and I can't get it, you know, it doesn't work out. I'm going to do all my house cleaning Thursday. So as soon as he goes to work, he leaves for work at 7:45 at night. So I can stay up until he gets home in the morning. That's going to be at least a good 12 hours. Because I'll probably sleep in Friday, maybe. I haven't been sleeping in this week. I've been getting up, well, I sleep in compared to some people. Because a lot of people get up really early, but for me, I would normally sleep until my husband would get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But since we've moved in the summertime and it's been nice weather, I've been getting up usually around noon. So then I started getting up around 11 to go do things I needed to do. And then this week I've been getting up at 10:30, which is early for me. So, because I didn't go to bed this morning until about 4:45, and I got up at 10:30. Yesterday I didn't go to bed until like 6:30, and I got up at 10:30. So when I go sit down to watch videos and stitch, I'll probably end up taking a nap for a little bit. But then I'll be up the rest of the night, so I can stay up until he gets home in the morning. I'm hoping I don't have to get up too early tomorrow. But you know, who knows? But anyway, that's my plan. I'm gonna stay up all night Friday night, start my stitching about, I'd say it probably be about 8:30 before I can get started. So if I start at 8:30 and then stitch till he gets home, then we'll sleep Saturday during the day, go out and eat supper, and then when we come back, I'll stitch again. And so I'll have to have it, it's a 48-hour period, so it's like Friday night, Saturday night, so I have to have it done Sunday at the same time I start Friday. I might be able to get in a good 18 hours. That's what I'm going to try for. I'd love to do 24, but if I can get 18 hours of stitching in, then I'm going to be one happy camper. Now, I won't be able to make updates because my husband's going to be home. You know, like Jen did her updates where she did, on the hour she'd update you, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I can't make videos when he's here. You know how I think most people that are floss tubers, they understand that. Okay, so that's what my plan is for that. And then I'm going to start getting together. Oh, also I'm going to start, praiseworthy stitches for the Leslie Hurley's Sal. And of course the Stitch On Me comes out on the 1st, so I'm going to be stitching on that because it's going to be one a day. So I'm going to try to keep up with that one because I think it's going to be easy. It's going to be small. And so I'm going to get out some of my whips and some new ones and just try to go to town stitching. So anyway, I hope you all have a good evening and a good rest of your week. I'm not sure when I'll be back, but it'll be, well, let's see, today's the 26th. So, I guess it'll be sometime this next week. I'm not sure when the 1st is, so I have to look on that and see, because I'd like to get my dark October stitching video up before the 1st, and I'm still waiting on a few threads that I didn't want to switch out. It should be here by Monday, so we'll see what happens Monday. Yeah. Okay, everybody have a good night, like I said, and I will talk to you all again soon. And if you haven't yet, please click subscribe. I really appreciate if you do, and leave me comments. I'll try to respond. And Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.